Hey everyone, David Choate here from ShareFaith Kids. Want to welcome you to our YouTube channel. If you're new, be sure and hit that big red subscribe button. And if you've done that already, hit the notification bell. And as soon as we release new content, you can instantly be notified. Today, we're going to be talking about volunteers. Always such a huge part of any thriving kids ministry. And in particular, in this episode, we're going to be talking about choosing the right kind of volunteers. If you choose the right volunteers, everyone else on your team benefits. And I think we've all been in that environment where it's like a new volunteer comes in and you're like, this just made everything so much easier. But you choose the wrong volunteer, a lot of times what happens is you inherit somebody else's problem and you wind up making things a lot harder, not only for yourself, but the rest of the volunteer team. So what is it that we should be looking for when we bring a volunteer onto our team? Now, there's a lot of things that come to the surface. We might go, I'm looking for someone with a lot of talent. And we go, can this person fit on the worship team? Are they a good teacher? Do they have great abilities in leading a small group? Sometimes we might want to look at something like experience. Have they served in previous kids ministries for a long time? Were they a principal or a teacher in a previous life or in their current life? Or we might go age, where we go, I want someone who's got this age and this kind of maturity level. But more than any of those things, the single thing you need to be looking for when you bring a new volunteer onto your team is attitude. Attitude is everything. Someone comes onto your team with a good attitude, everything else can be built from that foundation. But you bring a bad attitude onto your team, and it's like this saying, right? One bad apple can spoil the barrel. I don't know that any of us are buying apples out of barrels, but it's the saying. So what should you be looking for attitude-wise with your volunteers? I want to cover three things today. So first, you want to be looking for a can-do mentality. And by this, I mean, when a new volunteer comes onto your team, kids ministry is always shifting. You're always trying new things. You're always tweaking the service. And nothing is worse than someone who goes negative. That goes, I'm not sure that could work. I don't know if we have the resources to do that. I just got a bad feeling about this. For one, if you're the leader trying new stuff, that can be incredibly frustrating. But that bad attitude, it can be at its worst when they pull aside with other volunteers and go, did you know they're trying this new thing? Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to work. On the other hand, if you find someone with that can-do mentality that goes, I love this plan. I'm ready to try this. Why not? Let's give it a shot. There's an optimism and an enthusiasm that can really drive your team forward. So first, can-do attitude. Second, you want a teachable spirit. And by that, I mean you want someone who's open to new ideas, open to trying new things, someone who's willing to learn. I don't think any of us like being around know-it-alls. It just rubs us the wrong way. And so when you're trying to lead a kids ministry and the attitude that you get is, I already know that and I don't think it's going to work. Or an attitude that says, yeah, that's a good idea, but let me tell you how to do it better. Not that we as leaders can't grow. We in particular need teachable spirits. We need to be open to learn. But a volunteer, if you get that sense out of the gate that they're not willing to learn or they think they've already got it all dialed in, that should definitely be a red flag. But when you hear someone go, that's a great idea. Could you tell me a little bit more about that? Could you help me understand what you're trying to accomplish? What do I need to do so that I can be better at fulfilling this idea or this vision or this dream that you have? That is what you want. And you're going to take that over talent every time. And I think in all of these attitude things, that's a key point to remember. Always choose attitude over talent. You can find very gifted people with very bad attitudes, and so you'll find someone who's very gifted that disrupts the rest of the team. Okay, so we've got the can-do mentality, the teachable spirit, and finally, you're looking for someone who is going to be an example for others to follow. Everyone you bring on your kids ministry team is going to be an example. for the kids and also for other volunteers. And so as you look at your kids ministry team, it's worth asking, are they modeling behavior and an attitude and a mindset that I feel good about others following? Or are they really gifted, but the way they go about things and the way they communicate things in their heart is definitely not something I want replicated on my team? So look for those. On the other side of that, when you find someone, even if they're not the most gifted or the most talented or that they have the most experience, but man, the way they go about things, you go, I'd take 100 of you. I want everyone to look at how you're doing that and follow your example. Maybe it's how they interact with leadership. Maybe it's their heart and mindset toward the kids. Maybe it's the way they're willing to serve and sacrifice for the benefit of the others. Look for those good examples, lift them high, promote them, and use that as a standard as you bring other volunteers onto your team. So that's the big three when it comes to attitude: can-do mentality, teachable spirit, and an example for others to follow. Now, we've got a resource as we close up this video for you. Have a kids' church volunteer interview guideline. This is a great document that has 10 questions in it. Each question is something that helps you flesh out as you bring someone onto your team. Where do they fall on that attitude spectrum, and will they be a good fit for your team? So you can grab that in the description below. Thanks, great talking to you as always. And yeah, new content will be on its way soon.